Abused and brain injured. Useful tips for how to support survivors. The intersection of intimate partner violence and traumatic brain injury is complex and often overlooked. This video offers 3 strategies for supporting survivors who might have a brain injury. First, just consider the possibility of a TBI. This does not mean that we always need to run a formal screening assessment right away. Instead, ask some basic questions and try to understand a woman's experience. If we know she has been exposed to IPV now or in the past, check her history for common signs and symptoms of TBI. At first, it seems really important to screen and identify TBI so that women can get treatment. However, research shows that this may be more complicated than we think for a variety of reasons. There are no existing validated TBI screening tools that are sensitive to the special circumstances of IPV survivors. Research suggests they need to be adjusted to consider various aspects of a survivor's safety and well-being. A formal diagnosis can be difficult to obtain, particularly if the injury happened a long time ago, or if there are no medical records of it. Many women in violent relationships are not able to speak to a doctor, and even when they do, the possibility of TBI can be overlooked. It is possible that being diagnosed with a brain injury could increase a survivor's vulnerability in ways that may not be obvious at first. It could have an impact on a legal case or custody matter, or it could even be used against her by her abuser. Choosing a screening tool can be confusing because there isn't one specific for IPV, and many frontline workers do not feel confident in their knowledge about TBI. We also need to make sure that the screening tool asks questions without inflicting more trauma on the survivor. And we need to remember that not all survivors will have access to trauma-informed brain injury support services in their community, as these are often not widely offered. Keep in mind that TBI is a common result of physical assault during intimate partner violence, and gathering basic information can help you understand if there are underlying health concerns going unaddressed and unsupported. It can help to understand the type of assaults a survivor experienced, how long ago the assaults happened, and what, if any, changes did they notice afterwards. Remember that asking these questions needs to be done carefully and in a manner that supports safety. They don't need to be asked all at once, immediately upon intake, but it can help if you have a sense of what is happening. Please refer to the Signs and Symptoms section of the Abused and Brain Injured Toolkit, or watch the Introduction to IPV TBI video for more information about how to identify TBI. Second, provide support for suspected TBI even if you are not sure. These basic strategies can help survivors cope in stressful situations, even if they don't know for sure that they have a TBI. Remind clients of appointments ahead of time. When checking for understanding, ask each client what she understood, not if she understood. Keep meetings short and simple. Spread them out over more than one day if possible, and decide on 1 or 2 important issues to be discussed. Choose fewer tasks and make sure to write them down. If it is safe, encourage the use of memory aids, such as calendars, timetables, and lists. Reduce distractions, such as sudden sounds and movements, background noise, and harsh lighting. Third, use available resources and guidelines. The following Canadian-based guidelines and resources are available. Use the Abused and Brain Injured Toolkit to increase your own education and understanding about IPV-related TBI. Share it with your clients one-on-one or in a group, whatever works for you and the women that you are helping. There is a resource library in the toolkit with more suggestions and links. The Ontario Neurotrauma Foundation has developed guidelines for use by healthcare professionals working with persons who have sustained a mild TBI or concussion, as well as for persons with more moderate to severe injury, These guidelines are based on the most recent research evidence as well as input from experts and patients. Reach out to your local or provincial brain injury organization for information on services or programs that may help a client you are serving. A list of brain injury organizations can be found in this section of the toolkit. It is important to remember that even if the injury happened a long time ago, we can still support survivors. Many women shared their experiences to help make this toolkit. They spoke about how service providers can make a difference and how understanding what a traumatic brain injury is and how to accommodate it made a positive difference in their lives. These are their words. And that's what women need to see, to be able to see a way forward and to have assistance to get them on that path. We don't expect you to be there, kind of handhold us all the way, but just at least point us on the pathway we need to go and give us a little nudge. You know, that's it. I want every woman who experienced what I experienced to have the same opportunity and be given the same strength, because I had to borrow strength, to be given the same strength to be the best that they can. The worst of it was, I never thought that my brain would be affected by any of the abuse issues. I thought, at least I can always think. And I couldn't. The worker, she literally, for weeks, would sit there with me and explain why I was feeling certain ways. Workarounds for doing specific things, like really basic tasks. Like getting Post-it notes and sticking them everywhere. And I lived like that for almost a year and a half, with Post-it notes everywhere and books, keeping track of everything. So it's very difficult to sort of instruct or direct these things. But also for the service providers, I would say too, like it's what we've been saying for years and years and years, everything just needs to be a little bit more trauma-informed. We just need to be a lot more cognizant of just that people have had trauma in their lives. It should be like an everyday thing, just being humane to other people because you don't know what other people are going through. The research team would like to thank all the participants who shared their knowledge and expertise with us, so we could begin to understand the intersection of traumatic brain injury and intimate partner violence.